Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome. I had some echo. Um, Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're gonna talk a little bit. We're not gonna be playing a game tonight. And I don't know how long I'm gonna be on. We'll see how this goes. But what I want to do is I really want to talk a lot. I really want to talk a bit about branding. Why it's important to brand, how you brand, what is branding, all that stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Just bear with me just 1 second. All right, we're good. All right, we go. All right, let's see here. Let's see if this is gonna work for me. I just added a new Spotify playlist to my Twitch page. I just want to see if it's working. It is not. Oh, is it working? Kind of working. Uh, that's weird. Am I supposed to use the web player or something? Hmm. Well, this is good reason this is about branding and not about how to get Spotify to work on your Twitch page. Because apparently I don't know. Give me a sec. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, I hope the level is good. Make sure that's coming through on stream. All right. So there we go. We're gonna talk about branding. So what is branding? Why do you want to brand? Why do you want to concentrate on branding? How do you brand? How do you do it? How do you establish a brand for yourself? Um, so branding is the way that you get people to know who you are or who your company is. When you're in the stream, that's too loud for me. When you're in the when you're doing streaming, when you're doing content creation, you're putting yourself out there. You're putting an idea out there. You're putting your passions out there. You're putting out everything that you do, right? How do you sum that up? How do you get people to recognize that you are good at what you do, or that you are even somebody they should follow? Um, and the way that that works is branding. If Nike was who they are, but their name wasn't out there, they just made sneakers. Some dude calls you up and says, "Hey, I make some really nice sneakers and gear. Who are you?" "I'm just some guy." You're probably not going to go with them, right? Oh my god, this echo. Hold on. You're probably not going to go with them, right? Because who are they? You don't know who this guy is or who this company is, but they're trying to sell you something that, yeah, it might seem okay, but you don't know what kind of credibility they have. You don't know what they can do, right? You know who they are now, though, because they're branded. They're Nike, the logo, the swoosh, everything. You know who they are, and yeah, that was a really big example, but honestly, it works that way for every single company out there, right? You know who they are, you know how credible they are or not based on what you know about them, based on their brand. And the brand isn't just a name, it's not just a logo. It's it's who the company is, if that makes sense. And so you don't just make a logo and put that out there and go, "Yeah, that's my brand." What, a logo, a little cartoon image, something like that? No, your brand is more than that. It's a way to communicate to the people that you want to use your services or buy your goods, who you are, what you do, right? It's all of that. Take some of your top streamers. Ninja is his brand. That is not who he is. That is not his name, but his brand is Ninja. And when you see that in relation to his streaming career and content creation, you know immediately that that means he is this kind of person. He has uh, this kind of sense of humor. He is somebody that is good at specific games. You know who he is because Ninja is his brand, right? He has logos that are consistent. He has a presence that is consistent across social media. He Everything is just consistent and it relays who he is, right? So that's what I mean. It's not just the logo because if you just put Ninja out there, you're like, oh, you mean like um, from the Asian culture, martial artists who go around and assassinating people or whatnot. Um, no, that's not who we mean. We mean the streamer, the content creator. So it's that's his brand. And when you're getting into this, when you're getting into streaming, when you're getting into content creation, and you want people to come to your channel because you know you are the best video game player in the world at whatever it is you're playing, or you're on YouTube and you know whatever your hobby is that you decided to share with the world on YouTube, you are the best at it. But how do people know who you are, and how do people find you, and why should they go to you? Why should they listen to you? It's about establishing your brand, about establishing who you are, and a lot of this comes down to marketing. To be totally honest, I know that may not be exciting, that may not be fun, but it really does come down to marketing. Um, so when I first started streaming, you know, I was watching a lot of the Alpha Gaming channel, Harris Heller, and you know, I was in the midst of buying a bazillion pieces of gear, which you know I did because I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. Um, but one thing that Harris Heller said is, you know, before you spend, if you're gonna invest in anything when you start streaming, when you start your career, invest in your brand first, right? Let me see that. Invest in your brand first. Um, because it doesn't matter if you have the all the next gen equipment and that you're a rock star audio and video engineer and you can make anything sound perfect or look perfect. None of that matters if no one knows where to find you or how to find you or what you're going to offer. Let's take Twitch for an example. Um, when you first start streaming on when you first start streaming on Twitch, let's say that you know you want to play a popular game, oh, because you know it has 30,000 viewers at all time for Fortnite or whatever, right? The way that Twitch works, the way that they showcase people on the page to click on when you're browsing it, is by most viewers on that stream. You, when you first start, are probably gonna have 0 viewers, right? Right. 0, 1 viewer. Maybe you get your couple buddies in there. Maybe you have 2 viewers or something like that. But what that means is you are going to be on page 4,674,000. Right? Nobody is going to scroll that far. Nobody is going to page that far. They're just not going to do it, right? So how does this relate to branding? It has everything to do with branding, because in order for you to grow your Twitch audience, you have, and you can't, because you can't do it just on Twitch because of the way that Twitch's algorithm works for ranking people and showcasing them. It is extraordinarily difficult for people on Twitch to get big just on Twitch. You have to do something on other social media platforms. You have to build an audience on other social media platforms. And that's where the branding comes into play. So you establish your brand. You have a name. You want to use your gamer tag as a name for your business. Sorry, I can't use air quotes. My hands are occupied. You want to establish a name, whether it's your gamer tag, a company name, whatever. Just come up with a name that's you're going to use. In my case, my gamer tag for as long as I can remember has been Morphine. So that's the name that I chose to go with. And I expanded it to Morphine Gaming because I wanted to do a little more than just I'm more than just a gamer tag. I'm gonna play games, sure, do highlights, how-to videos, game reviews, stuff like that. But I'm gonna do more, right? So as I'm getting into streaming and content creation, I'm going to offer people streaming advice and all that kind of stuff. Um, Product reviews, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're gonna get into. And so I decided to make that my brand, and I did come up with a logo. Well, Morphine, what is Morphine? Well, for me, way back in the day when I created it obviously it's a play on the actual word morphine. I spelled it different, cause who knows what you do when you first start gaming and stuff like that, right? But that's what I did. And so morphine, as I spelled it, Moorphene, it doesn't mean anything. And even if it was the actual English word morphine, what kind of logo do you put next to that, right? A syringe? What? Like nothing that I really want to be promoting. So for me, I went with just the name. And when I went on Fiverr, and which I will get to in a different video, not today, and I was asking for help from some of the freelancers there. Hey, what do I do about the name? Like, do I just pick a logo or just at random? And I used a couple people, and then one guy that I really clicked with, Sanuti Creative. He came up with what you see on screen right now. Morphine, the name, my tagline, games, gear, and streams. But because I'm doing gaming, it's all was born from gaming. He incorporated a console controller in part of it. I think it looks really cool, right? So we went with it, and so that's kind of when you hear Morphine. Eventually, you're gonna see that. Now I have actually 3 logos that I kind of rotate in between. What you see on the screen is the main one, but I also have one. I'll actually flip back to this. It's on the video intro. You'll see it. And so you see it right here, right? This is by a different creator actually. And so this again has the controller as the base with an M on top of it for Morphine, and then Morphine Gaming, games, gear, and streams. So that's what you see, right? And then I also have initials, an MG, that look completely different, that I will use occasionally where it makes sense. But usually I go with those two logos. So, and they're different, but they're similar enough that it establishes a consistent look and feel for how I market myself. So now I got a logo, right? And now in order to keep the branding going, and I'm just talking the visuals right now. I'll get into like some of the more nit and gritty of the stuff later, but let me just talk to visuals. So the visuals are so important because before you can say anything and talk to anyone, you have to get the visuals out there. So you have to have your name, your logo, a nice crisp name and logo. And am I still out of focus? Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's all right. I don't have my glasses on anyway, so everything's kind of blurry, but whatever. Hopefully it doesn't look bad when I play it back. Anyway, so the graphics are out there, and then, I've created a new Insta, a new Twitter, a new Facebook, all that stuff, under my name, Morphine. It helps that my name is uniquely spelled so that it was fairly easy to get Morphine across all social media. And then what I want to do is I want to upload the logo to all of my social media, and I want to link my social media everywhere, cross-link it everywhere, right? So now when you see Morphine. So now you're starting to see the name. And when you go to my Twitter, when you go to my Insta, when you go on YouTube, you're gonna see basically the same banner everywhere, right? So immediately you recognize, okay, yeah, this is his page, right? Cool. So the next thing you want to know about that is, so you have your branding consistent. If you're making content and you have an intro screen or an outro screen, if you're doing on Twitch and you have you're switching between scenes, like I'm switching here. Oh, I don't have, I took it out of that one. That's funny. I'll switch back to this. What you saw right there, and again, is a stinger transition. So when I'm going through my screens, you can use all kinds of stinger transitions, and I actually have a few different ones, but that is one that I use a little more than the others because it's quick and it shows my name. Because nobody knows who I am when I started off. Not many people know who I am now. But what's important is that I keep it's repetition with the name, right? So the stinger is essentially the logo that I manipulated to make it just a stinger, and like on my starting page now page. Branding, that name, that visual is consistent across all the platforms. It's consistent on my stream. It's consistent when I'm making YouTube content. In my YouTube content, when I flip between different shots or what different sections of whatever it is I'm talking about, I will also use a stinger transition. Might be the same one, maybe something similar, but whatever. It's going to be very similar in that same kind of visual package. All right. So you have created a logo, you've created a tagline, whatever, you've created all your social medias, you have a consistent look across them. Okay. So the next thing is your brand, the name, people will get to know it, but you still need them to know who you are. You're not a big corporation, right? Nike just has Nike and the swoosh logo. That's what they have, right? Or if I'm going to make this more personal to streaming, Elgato just has Elgato and their logo, which I thought I actually had something around here with their logo on it, but you guys, you can look it up. So you see that logo. Oh, that's an Elgato product. You hear the name, obviously. Yeah, it's Elgato. That's a division of Corsair. They make gear for streamers, and they're fucking awesome. So, all right. But you are not Elgato. You are a single person. Maybe there's two of you, whatever, working on a company that does streaming and or content creation. So when you put your logo out there, nobody knows what that is. Especially, and this is especially true if you are a single streamer, as in, you're doing this by yourself. You want them to connect with you. You want them to connect with you. So you need to use your face. You need to have your face. Now, when I get into this, I'm an introvert, man, and I'm not comfortable always putting myself out there. I'm just not. But in order for me to have any chance of success at this, when I did the research and listen to people say how you get started and all this stuff, the one thing that I heard consistently is you're marketing you. Yes, the visuals of the name and logo and all that, but you. If I shot all my gameplay videos and all my content videos with never showing my face, I do believe that it would be harder for people to connect with me, right? They need to see who I am. They need to see that I'm a real person and that I'm giving them this advice, person to person. So it's important for me to understand that they know that there's a real person behind there. So, when you look here on my Twitch page or my YouTube page, because I'm also live streaming there and Facebook, my profile picture is the same across all three. In fact, it's the same on Twitter. It's the same everywhere. When I'm talking about Morphine, that profile picture is the same. Again, consistency across the platforms. Consistency across the platforms in your images and in your text, name, your tagline, and your logo. Consistency across them. Okay. When you're describing what you do, you want that to be consistent. You don't want these things to all be a clone, because then what's the point of someone going from one platform to another? And like Twitter, Insta, Facebook, YouTube, they all have different they all have different purposes in the social world. Insta is obviously very visual. You're posting images, you're posting reels, whatever. Insta reels, same as TikTok. In fact, you can actually put the same content on your TikTok as you do on your Insta reels. But Insta is very visual. You want to take good photos. What I do upload a few photos like every now and then of my streaming setup, or a product. I'm gonna do a product review. I upload videos when I do shoot YouTube videos, and I upload those as stories onto Insta. On Twitter it's more text based, right? It's not that there aren't images on Twitter, but Twitter is mainly for quick status updates, quick questions to your followers, all that kind of stuff. So it's a different need. And Facebook is kind of a combination of the both, I guess. I'm not as big of a Facebook fanatic as I do enjoy Twitter and Instagram. Um, and for me personally, I don't see how TikTok or Instagram Reels, for that matter, really play a factor into what I'm trying to do. That short 15-second format that you have to upload a video. Yeah, maybe I could do advertising, but that's, and then a lot of people do advertising in there, but for what I'm selling, I don't know how much sense it makes. Maybe I will find a way to use it down the road. It's something I'm keeping in the back of my mind. I'm working on it because I think it'd be cool to get out there as much as I can. But for now, we're not doing the Insta Reels and we're not doing TikTok. We're just doing regular Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So we've talked about it's important to have the visuals, the graphic design visuals, your logo, your name, your tagline. It's important to have pictures of yourself, consistent headshot across the platforms. And that's the big thing too. You want it across the platforms. Now, the reason why, a few minutes ago I said that we want to go from we can't grow on just Twitch. We have to be on the other social media. And the reason is because people can't discover you very easily on Twitch. They can discover you a little more easily on those other platforms. And that's key, right? Because the algorithms, the way they do things is different on there. It's different on YouTube. So start building a following on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media you're using, and YouTube. Start building your following there, and then cross promote all of those. And if you really want to get big on Twitch, cross promote your Twitch. Just make sure that you're posting things in the right spot. Make sure you're doing all that. And when you're doing this, when you're posting anything anywhere and you're talking about your brand, be consistent, not just with the visuals, but with how you talk about it. And remember, nothing dies and goes away on the internet. So if you post something kind of inflammatory just to get attention, hoping that will lead to a few viewers, remember that what you just said could come back to haunt you. So be the same across everything that you post, text or video or image. Okay, so now you've got some followers on those different platforms and you're cross promoting and you're starting to trickle people into your Twitch stream. That's pretty good. But if you're starting like me, if you're starting off on those platforms and you don't have a big following, it's still tough to get people to come into it, right? So specifically, there is one trick that I can tell you guys now. We're going to keep this right around 30 minutes and we're at 25 right now. So what you want to do is, yes, I know you want to play Fortnite. You want to play Cyberpunk 2077. Right? You want to play Among Us. So don't thousands and thousands of other people. So when you go there, you are going to be at the bottom. And when you get some followers to come in from Instagram and all those other places, yeah, you're going to have some people and it's going to help a little bit, right? Maybe you're going to get up to 10, 15, 20 people, which is actually really good for Twitch, right? You need 3 people on average to make affiliate, 75 people on average to make partner. And that's good. But on those big games, you're still going to be buried, right? On those other pages. So what you want to do, is try hosting or try getting into a game that does not have a lot of followers, that has a consistent number of people, just not a lot of followers. Now, that's how I started off my career here on Twitch. And I'm not saying I abandoned, no, I guess I did abandon it, but I haven't been playing a lot of games lately. I've been doing a lot more of just chatting and content creation to build that up so I can come back and do exactly what I'm telling you to do. But what I did is I got into a game, Remnant. And Remnant came out last August, not this past August, like a year. It's like a year plus ago. Hold on, guys, 1 second.
Don't worry. I'll pick some.
All right. Think we're okay? I don't know. That was weird. Whatever that was. Anyway. Where was I going? So yeah, so I got into Remnant, and there's not a lot of people. There was between 75 and 200 people. Sorry, yeah, it was never single double digits. It was between 1 and 200 people at all times. In fact, let's do that right now. I'm gonna go there right now. I'm not gonna switch screens because it takes me a second to mess around with Streamlabs. But if I go,
Oh, did they want him?
if I go look up Remnant, because it's not on my main page anymore. Remnant right now has 98 viewers, so I guess I lied when I said it was never double digits. Right now it's 98 viewers. But the thing is, it's always around the same amount of people, right? And a lot of the same people. So yes, you are not playing in front of a lot of people, but you know what? You're probably going to be on that first page, right? And if you're on the first page, I don't care if the game does not have a lot of people. It still gets you noticed. And then anyone that just pops in to look at it, boom, you're there. Now, Remnant might not be the best choice. I like it because it's that right size category, so I can be on that first page. And I say it's not the right choice because it's not a game where there's more DLC coming, right? So because there's no more DLC coming, you're in a prime position, but you're not. There's no influx of people coming who are going to see you. So, you know what I mean? That's a little bit tough. But the point is, and I'm over my time now, but the point is for branding, you need to be consistent. You need to have all of your graphics consistent and descriptive. You need to have a presence across all the social media, and you need to cross promote. Now, the one trick I was going to tell you right as before I end here is, and now not everyone's going to do this, but I'm telling you, if you can do it, make it work. Advertise. I know it sounds silly to some of you, but advertise. Use Google Ads. Use Spizzy. Use whatever you want to use. But advertise. I don't care if you throw in $10, $25, whatever you want to throw in there. And it's not like you do it all the time. But advertise, man. Especially, and this is especially for you folks that are doing content. You're making original content on YouTube or Instagram or something like that. And I can speak more specifically to YouTube because that's what I'm getting into. So what I do is when I create a new video and I upload it to YouTube, that very same day, probably 4 to 5 hours after I upload the video, because I want to see if any of my normal subscribers, how many of my subscribers are going to come in and check it out. But usually that very same day, I will go and I'll place a new ad promoting that video, and I will put in an amount maybe for $25. I will make sure that is the only video that I'm promoting at that time. I'll tweak my demographics that I want it to hit, and then I'll hit go. and usually 1 to 3 hours later, because all these ads get manually approved, it gets approved, it starts going live, and I usually have a fairly wide demographic, um, and but it gets out there. Even with $25, I'm going to get probably 100 to 200,000 impressions, and that will turn into I usually get like a 3 to 4% click rate on that. So I'm getting 3, 4, 5,000 views out of it. Now I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and I paid 25 bucks for it, right? But on YouTube, the more views you get and the faster views you get, how your percentage is trending compared to similar videos, same hashtags, similar titles, same genre. They rank things not only on title and meta tags and the thumbnail and the length of your video, um, and the watch time, the average watch time, but also how are you trending compared to other people. So when I launch a new video, when I create a new video and I'm doing advertising, and then I'm getting 5,000 viewers, 5,000 views in the first 12, 24 hours, whatever it is. Even though it's because of advertising, right? Even though it's because of advertising, it's not like. And by the way, let me just say, when you throw that video out there and you're getting those views, like I said, 1 to 200,000 people saw my ad. 5,000 people chose to click on it. 5,000 people chose to click on it. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you don't have a big following, 5,000 eyes is a lot. And even if they don't stay, and quite often they don't stay, and it's partially because you don't market correctly. Like I don't always market correctly, but 5,000 views means you had like your percentage of a change. You just launched it that day. You had maybe one view yourself, and then 24 hours later, you have 5,000 views. That's a very big percent change. You skyrocket to the top of that percent change part of their algorithm, and that ranks you up there. So to give you one example, I just made a new video reviewing the GoXLR, and I did that 3 days ago. I don't have a lot of subscribers on YouTube. The GoXLR has been out for a year. There've been a bazillion videos on it, but because I did a YouTube ad campaign, even though I have about 15,000 views right now on my video, which you can check out in my Twitch below you. If you check out my YouTube, click on my name, channel, latest videos, it's right there. Anyway, I'll step up your game, GoXLR 2021. Anyway, I am 5th. If you just type in GoXLR in YouTube right now, I'm not asking you to filter or sort anything. Type in GoXLR, hit enter. I'm gonna be the 5th video on there, and that's because this is the rate of change. That's because of the rate of change that I have right now. Coincidentally, in my shitty luck, Eris Heller, who I mentioned before, is the person who has guided a lot of this information into me, also released a video about the GoXLR that same day, and where I'm reviewing the GoXLR, saying, hey, it's still a good product, it's still awesome. His video happens to be titled "Say Goodbye to the GoXLR." But that said, whatever. He's got 70,000 views on his video since he launched it. I have 15,000 my views and I launched it. Yeah, he's crushing me there. But if I look at this other piece, he also has 460,000 subscribers, and I've got 1,500. Right? So that tells you that it's not as bad as it sounds. It's not as bad as it sounds. Um, you know, and when people are looking at videos on YouTube, if your video has 5 views, because you had no other way to market it and promote it, no one's gonna go to it. They're gonna think no one goes to this video. I'm not. How credible can they be? So when you use an advertising campaign and you're getting views, even shitty views, like I'm getting some shitty views off some of these. Like, and when I say that, I mean it's an 8.5 minute video, and when I first started doing the ad campaign, I'm getting 30 seconds, 60 seconds of people watching it. Like they're not watching the full thing because I'm marketing to the wrong people partially. But a view is a view is a view. Now I've got 15,000 views. Now people see it. And like, oh, yeah, maybe it's not that bad. It's got a bunch of views. So you do that. Now, not everybody's going to go this route. A lot of people are just going to try organic viewing, which means just posting about yourself and not, and a lot of that reason why there's probably 2 reasons. One is financial, right? I just started so I have 60 plus gameplay, game guide, build videos out there between the first 2 games that I've chosen to play on my kind of streaming career here, Remnant and Borderlands, actually 3, Remnant, Borderlands, and Star Wars. I got, like I said, 60, 70 videos out there. I have now 3 videos on my content creation career, all about streaming, stream help, stream guides, all that stuff. So, and I don't remember where I was going. I don't remember where I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so advertise. So, oh yeah. So finances is one of the reasons why people don't advertise a lot, because it gets expensive. And when you're putting in $25, let's say that I did $25 each of the first 4 days of the video. It means I spent $100, and I probably got somewhere between 50 and 100,000 views. No, that's probably not right. 25 and 50,000 views, right? And maybe you're like, but I didn't make any money off that. No, but you're getting your name up there. You're getting the view count up there, and that's establishing your credibility. And I get that the money, $100, man. I can't spend that much just to promote a video and just to get a few views. And I get it. Then find other ways to do it, right? Don't see, and I could go off on a tangent on this, but as you're getting into this, there's two ways to do it. You can establish an initial budget that you have, and you can spend that, and that might be $100, $500, $1,000, $5,000. It all depends on what your situation is. It all depends on what your situation is. And when you first get into it, you know what? You probably have a job. So maybe you're fortunate enough to set a little bit more money aside, $500, $1,000, whatever. Get yourself started. Do all of those things that I told you. Go on Fiverr. Get a logo. Start making, and then buy some gear. But don't just buy gear. Don't just buy gear. You have $500 and you say, I'm going to buy a Go XLR. I'm going to buy a Go XLR because it's going to make my audio sound fucking tight. It's going to sound perfect. Great. That's awesome. It's a great piece of equipment. I highly recommend anybody to get it. But that's not going to help you bring in viewers. Not one. Probably not one. It's not. You need to let people know who you are, where you are, why they should come view you. The only way you're going to do that is by branding cross promoting, building an audience outside of Twitch. And I'm using Twitch as an example because that's, what I started doing. If your streaming career has you on YouTube, you're watching me on YouTube right now. It's not that much different. It's not that much different. You still need to let people who know who you are. But unlike Twitch, there are some levers you can pull to brand yourself, market yourself a little bit better on YouTube. And that is honestly one of the ways is that advertising. Another way is to make sure that the niche you're in is something that you position yourself well. And marketing and working on YouTube, working on Twitch, right? You can go to Owned, you can go to Placeit, you can go to Streamlabs, whatever. You can go to a bunch of places and get all of the typical design elements, your overlays, your panels, your widgets, your alerts, your all that stuff, so that you have a nice looking stream, right? You have a nice looking stream, super easy to set up almost no matter what platform, what tool you're using to stream. And then you look good. It looks good. But when you're doing this on YouTube, there's no easy thumbnail maker. There's no catchy title generator. There's no automatic hook writer or call to action creator or content maker. You're not just applying an overlay that you got from the Streamlabs store and throwing it onto your stream. It's looking tight, and then you're going live and you look good to whoever comes and watches your stream. It's not like that. YouTube, you got to do everything yourself. You have to create every freaking element. And I don't mean necessarily by hand. Yeah, I can still go out and I can go to like Placeit, which I will review. Placeit is awesome. Anyway, and I can grab a thumbnail. I still have to put together. I gotta take the photos. I gotta do all this. I gotta put it all together. I have to come up with a title. I have to do the hashtags. I have to come up with a nice description that's gonna work. All that stuff. So it's hard. It's hard. You can get discovered a little more easily on YouTube, even though it's gigantic, but it's a little harder. It's easier to get set up and look good on Twitch, but it's harder to get discovered. Instagram and Facebook, they're kind of a mixture. It's hard. It is hard to get discovered on Instagram and Facebook. It is hard goddamn work to get discovered on Instagram and Facebook. It might even be harder than Twitch, but you have all the design elements that you do in YouTube, right? So yeah. Now, full disclosure to anyone still listening, and maybe I should have said this up front. I'm new to the streaming game. I'm new to the content creation game. I don't have a big following in YouTube, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I have, like I said, just under a little bit under 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and less than 1,000, probably between 600 and 1,000 followers on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook each. But it's coming. I've been at this as a side career, side gig now for 3 months, something like that. But anyway, I'm rambling a bit too much now. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. If you have any questions at all about anything that I'm saying, this video, I'm multi-streaming to YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel. It's YouTube. youtube.com/c/morphine. Leave a comment on the video, on the live video, and I will get back to you. I'm actually going to be shooting a whole video on branding, more of an overview, kind of like this, but a little more cleaned up because I'll actually have the script in front of me, and we'll go through that a little bit more details, and then it'll probably be a multi-part branding thing that'll kind of branch off that. But anyway, leave your comments there. If you're on YouTube, look below, click on the name, go to the channel. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. I'm gonna probably post similar content on YouTube when I create my video on YouTube. But it also gets sent out to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Brand consistency, man. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out for the night. As always, stay safe. I'll see you next time.